Hello, everybody, and welcome to an all-new live episode of Wrestling's Road Trip After Hours. I'm your host, Mac Davis.
I thought we had an agreement here that you wasn't going to drink before we start the
Drink?
show.
What are you talking about?
Your own son, just as soon as we chime in,
You know what? I'll
that's
tell you what it is. On this particular stream, I don't know if this is the same on all streams, but when you play a video in front of you, it takes a couple of seconds till you go live, even after it ends. So I just try to kind of hum it a little bit as it keeps going, so it doesn't sound like just dead
so
air.
now that's your excuse for drinking.
Yeah, cheers.
You there?
No.
See what I said?
Teddy, how was your weekend, my friend?
My weekend was good, man. And I was alive and able to see, so that's enough for me. I also had an Indianapolis too last weekend too. We was there for the big wrestling expo, so had a chance to see a lot of guys I hadn't seen in 10, 15. Slick was one of them, one of the managers in the WWF, and One Man Gang, Tully Blanchard, and just so many guys. Raven, golly, man, just guys that Blue Meanie, Mick Foley,
Wow.
just so many guys I had a chance to talk to.
Now, what was this? What convention was this? Because that's a load of folks there.
Well, it was some wrestling expo. May not have the correct name for it. I do have one they have every year there in Indianapolis. So it's a Fan Fest Expo or something like that. But golly, it was. I knew it had to be 50 wrestlers
Wow,
there.
that's a lot of folks. In fact, you and I will see a lot
Yeah.
of folks in St. Louis. That's coming up May 16th and 17th. For those of you who are watching that are in the St. Louis area, even if you're not in the St. Louis area and you want to fly in, this is a great event to come to. It's FanFest 3. It's SICW's FanFest 3. And, of course, the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame. And our very own Teddy Long will be getting the Lifetime Achievement Award that night. And I'm really looking forward to that. I've been working some stuff behind the scenes, so that's going to be a very fun night. So make sure if you're in that area or can get there, come to see us. Go to sicw.org and get those tickets. Teddy, Hulk Hogan has been caught in another.
Oh God!
Yeah, man.
Come on.
He is being caught in another hot comment that's not so true. Hulk now claims he was the first person to wrestle Brock Lesnar after he left the UFC. But there's no record of that match anywhere that can be found. Recently, though, Hogan has made several heads scratch just over the comments he's been saying, including the fact that he claims now, Teddy, he once wrestled 400 days one year.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I can't say
There's
that
not
he's
that
telling
many
the truth,
days.
and I can't say that he's lying. It's not 400 days in a
You're
year.
damn right.
You know, I what's the matter with Hogan, man? Me and him always got along. You know, I never had any problem with him at all. So, God bless him, man.
Now,
I
look,
don't
he
know.
and Bischoff, have you seen this? It's just been in the news the last couple of days. They kind of had this NWO feeling, kind of black and white promo they put out there. And it ends up that promo was for a different kind of wrestling fed called Real American Freestyle. Now, this group is world-class athletes, elite level athletes, Olympic level wrestlers, collegiate champions, but in a professional environment with a lot more entertainment. And that's according to Eric Bischoff. Hogan said, quote, "You do the backstories first so that people care about the athletes and you see where they started and the injuries and what type of family background they have. And in the history package, I think the kind of sets people up to take care for the athletes or care for the athletes." I agree with that to a point, Teddy. That's something I've always thought that wrestling has been missing. When you watch UFC, do you watch UFC ever, Teddy?
No.
The way that they approach, they still have their villains and they still have their good guys, you know, that the fans kind of make out that way. They don't go out of their way to be entertainment like wrestling, but they come out and you get a history package and you kind of care for the person, you know, the actual person that's coming out. And it's a whole different feel. And I think this may have some legs if they get it going good.
Well, it's called a bio. Okay. And basically, I like some people like yourself, you like that. Let me know something about this guy. Let's see what he did. What's his back stuff? And there's nothing really wrong with that. I think that's really great. I think they should do that with a lot of people.
Yes.
Uh, these guys, Eric, and they've been friends a long time. They're especially business partners, so they could be on something here. And I saw the relationship between him and Hogan when I had a chance to watch. I was looking at Dark Side of the Ring and Who Killed WCW when they was with the Russo deal and where he came out, cut the promo and all this stuff. So I really got an understanding about the bid. They really told everything. So like I said, Bischoff and Hogan, they're good friends, and I don't count them out.
Yeah, I'm not going to count them out, especially if I keep saying this, and Teddy, people will yell and scream about it, but I'm going to say it still. Vince McMahon is not the type of person to sit on the sidelines, and he's been quiet when it comes to business opportunities and maybe getting back into sports entertainment of some type. This could be another area where if he sees that there's something to it, he could get in there as well, don't you think?
Well, yeah, I think so, but Vince is in there unless Vince is going to have full control of that. And like I said, Vince still has great ideas. You know what I mean? He still understands. He's in his right mind. And I just wish something happened for him where he does come back. I'd like to see him make a comeback, and I know he'll do good, but he's just got to get some good for him.
All right, we got some stuff coming in here. Steve Morris, hey guys, after The Rock's comments to Dave LaGreca, what do y'all think should be that we should look at? Should we look at wrestling like a superhero movie? Teddy?
I don't know what his comments were to Dave LaGreca.
Well, basically, Dave LaGreca lost his shit on a recent episode of Busted Open on Sirius XM. And he was mad of the way that a couple of things, really. The way the main event match ended at WrestleMania night number 2, and The Rock's explanation for why he wasn't there. And The Rock saying, well, wrestling's all work. Everything's a work. The interviews, everything you see is all a work. It's just fake. He didn't use the F word. Like you mentioned that. But, it's all a work. Basically just saying, basically.
Well, is it a work or not?
Yeah, but I think it's probably the first time anybody's really kind of come out and said, that was in today's fashion. You don't expect to see somebody like The Rock say that. Yeah,
he can do that.
Maybe he can get away with it, but I do think that we have to look at wrestling that way when it comes to, and Steve, I think it's a good question. If we look at it like a superhero movie, we allow ourselves to fall for the story that's going on into the ring. And that's all anybody really wants. We all know what's happening at the wrestling show. It's a matter of how involved do you want to be in these matches and enjoy yourself? Because the quality of that match and the quality of the show, a lot of times, is going to be up to the fan. If you allow yourself to enjoy it, you will enjoy it. Don't you think?
Yeah, I agree 100%. But like I tell you all the time, man, everything has changed now. I'm telling you, man, the whole wrestling, everything has changed now. This is not back in the day and what it used to be. So and that's what's wrong with a lot of the guys in it. They refuse to change. Yeah. Okay, but they're so hung up on what happened back in the day, and this is when I'm gonna kayfabe for the rest of my life. You're not. Okay, just stop and just pay attention to what you're saying, and just get with the program. If you can get a job now with the change, then take the job to check. Quit worrying about it shouldn't be like this or it shouldn't be like that. Maybe it shouldn't be, but that's the way of the world now.
Yep. Zach Minger. Hey, Mac and Teddy, how are you? I'm doing good. Zach, thank you. Teddy, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Zach. How are you, player?
Let's see. Curly Man is in here. By the way, I want to mention this too. Curly Man was our winner of our weekly T-shirt giveaway. And Teddy chose him last week. And he said, I guess y'all forgot, but I just won one just recently. So he let me know and said, throw it back in the pile and we'll give it away to somebody else. So we're going to give away 2 T-shirts tonight. 2 T-shirts.
How'd you make that mistake?
I didn't. Don't start. You chose him, not me.
Well, I'm not the guy who T-shirts.
Well, you're the one that picked his letter being the best one, the best question of the night.
Well, you should have been on top of it. You should have said, Teddy, no, we've already given him one. So I just got to take control
Teddy,
of
I
this,
have
and
been
it
hit in
should
the
be
head
you.
way too many times to remember something that happened a few minutes ago.
Okay. You should, but from being hit in the head, or there's something
No, it's
else.
being hit in the head. That's it, and maybe a little bit of age on top of that. But he wants to know. He says, "Hey guys, and by the way, hey Curly, Teddy, did you ever get to meet Steve Mongo McMichael?"
I saw him, and then God, it's been a while. I might have met him and spoke to him. I might have did. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I didn't never see him a whole lot.
Yeah, he's we lost Mongo, and he in WCW during the Monday Night Wars. He was one of the last people I thought that I would enjoy on TV, but I did. He was so out there. He'd be on screen and had this little tiny, was it a poodle maybe or a chihuahua, something that he brought out there. You got this monster of a man sitting at the announcer desk with a little tiny dog. It's a great visual for TV, but yeah, I always enjoyed him during the Monday Night Wars, and I hate to hear that he's no longer with us. Let's see. What else do we have? We got some more questions in here, Teddy. We got Scott stopping by saying, "Hey, guys, stopped in to say hello. About to go on a bicycle ride. Have a great show." Yeah.
All right, thank you for stopping by, and you ride that bicycle just as fast as you can. I bet you can't do me on cardio.
Yeah, well, you never know. But I got to say this. This is for people who don't know Scott. I've known Scott for several years now, and Scott had some heart issues and had to have surgery, and he has bounced back from that heart surgery. And brother, you're doing awesome. Keep up doing everything you're doing. It's inspiring to see what you've come back to. Let's see.
Well,
Recently,
good.
go ahead.
I want to say something to him
Yeah.
too, man. Congratulations. God is not ready for you yet. He gave you another chance. So I see you're in the right direction. You're going on a bicycle ride, man. Keep that exercise in. That's exactly what it's all about, man. Keep exercising that diet around, and just live the rest of your life by doing the right thing. You'll be
Yep.
okay.
Recently, Logan Paul commented that he offered Stone Cold Steve Austin $1 million to wear the Prime mascot costume. And Stone Cold heard about this and he actually got a little miffed. He said this: "If he said that, I'm not going to call him a liar. I just thought it was personal business. But since it's out there, yeah, I turned it down. I'm in the beer business. I don't know anything about his product, its ingredients, whether it's good or bad. It just wasn't my thing." But yeah, he was not happy that Logan Paul put that
Well,
personal business out there.
I'm so glad of that too. That somebody like Steve Austin, a guy can stand up and fight back on silly stuff. That was just something silly.
Yeah.
And yeah, Steve knew better. You know what I mean? So yeah, thank God we still got people like Steve. Will stand up to these guys when they cut them like the money is it. Yeah, the money is it, but there's certain people like Austin. He don't need the money, and so I'm the right guy, not somebody that would have. I mean, $1 million. Don't get me
Oh,
wrong,
yeah.
but yeah, sometimes, man, you're about yourself. If you can do that, and Steve Austin could do it.
Yeah, there are certain people I wonder if they had it approached, who would have said yes. And I can think of a bunch of guys who probably would have
Oh
jumped at the
God.
chance.
God, yeah. Well, $1 million, you don't be. That's all it should be, a millionaire one.
No, yeah, but nowadays is $1 million enough?
Well, who knows?
JBL, man, JBL. I'm talking about Scott a minute ago about how well he's doing health wise. JBL, man, he's tearing it up. He's getting in incredible shape, and he recently was commenting on TNA wrestling, and he said, "quote I don't know if it's the old baggage from TNA of 10, 15 years ago. It's still a secondary promotion behind WWE, but it's doing great. I think what gets them out of being considered an independent is a TV contract, and I think they'll get one. I don't have any inside information on this, but WWE has left a huge void by going to streaming, and terrestrial TV needs live television. I think they'll get a TV contract. I hope they do. And when they do, I think that's when you start considering them different than just TNA." Your thoughts, Teddy?
I agree. Certainly agree, man. Once they get that deal, then you'll see exactly. And I understand what it means about WWE going streaming, I mean, you still gotta have that local wrestling.
Yes.
Like I said, everybody don't have Netflix, and some people that do have it, they don't even want it.
Yeah.
So you still gotta have what I mean, you can call it back in the day or whatever, but it's what brought us to the dance. So you still need that Saturday night wrestling or whatever nights or whatever they are, where people can, tune it. And I think with WWE being on the Netflix, if TNA gets a TV deal, that's gonna shoot them right onto the
Yeah,
top.
I don't think it's going to take much to
Yeah,
get them
well,
there. Go
they've
ahead.
got to make sure they got the right talent too, and the right people to run it. If
Correct.
you got the right people in charge and the right talent, then you're going to be successful.
All right, Teddy, we're going to step away just real quick to tell you about the ICW FanFest 3 that's coming up May 16th and 17th. And on the other side of that commercial, we're going to tell you all about asking Teddy any question you have about anything. He'll answer it, like it or not. Stand by. We'll be right back.
SICW FanFest 3 is almost here. Meet your favorite wrestling superstars. May 16th and 17th, St. Louis. Get up close and personal with wrestling legend. SICW.org. Come on, do it right now. SICW.org. Don't wait. Make plans May 16th and 17th at the Hilton St. Louis Airport. SICW FanFest 3.
Letters, oh we get letters, we get your letters every day. Mailman, mailman, mail today. Reach right in and pull one out. Those letters, I love those letters. Let's find out what you got to say.
Oh boy!
Mailman, mail today.
All right, Teddy. Let's see. Your first question coming in from our emails, Facebook, or Twitter, those areas where we get them during the week. Lanzy in Utah writes, who do you find to be the most entertaining wrestler today? That's a good question.
Golly, man. That is
He
really a good
specified
question.
entertaining. So, obviously he listens to the show.
Well, I'd have to, I'd have to say The Rock. I mean, there's nobody on that microphone that's better than him, and he has not only he can the talk, he has charisma, he has the styles, how to fit every word. So I would have to think he's an entertaining guy to me.
If we take the vets, the guys that have been around for quite some time, some of the like the John Cena's and Randy Orton's, take them out of the picture. Who in the new group do you think may be the most entertaining right now?
I like Sami Zayn. I really do. I mean, he's a guy. I don't care what you do to him. You know what I mean? He still gets back up and keep on pushing. You know what I mean? And I do like Sami Zayn. I really like him. And like I said, I've always LA Knight. I think he's doing a good job, and he's gotten a lot. And you can't leave out Jey Uso. Gee, I guess he's certainly come a long way, but he's certainly proved himself, and he's doing an outstanding. Chance to see Rikishi this past weekend too, and me and him had a chance to have a good talk about Jay. And like I said, I knew Jay and his brother when they were little bitty boys there, so I watched them grow up. But congratulations to him and a lot of new guys on that roster.
Oh, yeah.
That are gonna be good.
That's the one thing I see in today's roster in WWE. There are some stars in there right now, but we don't have an abundance of these stars like we did back in the Attitude Era or even in the Ruthless Aggression area. There were just so many people that were over all at one time. But I feel like we're inching our way back to that. If they take their time with some of this talent, I think we might end up seeing, it may take a year or two, but I think we may see one hell of a roster down the line if they keep going the way they're going. Let's see. Right. Sam I Am asked, what was the most irate you ever saw Vince McMahon get?
Most irate. I think I saw him. Oh God, yeah. I was standing in the gorilla position. The gorilla position is where we stand before we go out when we come out. And I'm opening up the show. And so about this time, here comes one of the writers there, and he gives the show to Vince. And I'm standing there, looks at it, and he's waiting a few minutes, and then all of a sudden he breaks out and he says, "Who is shit?" Okay, like that. And the next thing I know, he's just ripping it up, and he throws it away. And he told the writer, he says, "Get another show." Now now he calls me and he tells me, "What are you asking me? What was I saying out there?" And I told him. Then he said, "Well, you're not gonna say that.
Oh shit.
Here's what I want you to say." So he changed my whole promo in midair. So not to forget about all that I done remembered, and I'm trying to remember what he just told me, and I'm like 2 minutes. We're going live, okay? So that was kind of right there.
Ooh. Let's see. Michael Steele stopping by again this week. We appreciate you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for joining us every week, man. You're a true player.
Holla player, he says. I'm going to be at the car show this Saturday at Memorial Veterans Park in Dallas, Georgia. Swing by if you're in town. That should be
okay. Yeah, I know what that is. All right.
And let's see, we have an old friend of mine in there. Do you recognize who this is?
Are you paying these people?
No, he's a friend of yours too.
Okay, how come everybody they when they pop up, you all already know them? This is some conspiracy here. Something is going on with you. I believe you're getting a kickback or something. I don't know. I need to just start checking you out.
All right, Miss Daisy. Let's see.
Okay, you call me. I don't care.
That's not. Well, you are a little Miss Daisy. Shoot Taylor's
That's
up
all right.
next. Okay. Is that who you're coming up against? I'm gonna have to talk to you soon. We need to get you on the show because this is somebody who, again, well, never mind, because Teddy will give me shit. Sorry. Hey, I'll talk about it next week. Maybe we'll get you on the show. Then Teddy can't be so rude about everything. Let's go back to the questions here.
You can't get him on the show without my approval. It's together. This ain't no one-man band.
That's right. Remember that. I got the disconnect button. Al from Facebook. Any stories of Norman the Lunatic?
No, not really. No, he's a pretty easy guy to get along with. I like I said, I just started managing then, so I'm still trying to learn the ropes. But I had a good time with Norman. But I don't think he ever did anything that was outrageous.
I was going to ask you. That's what I was about to ask you. Was he like a party guy, or was he a very quiet individual? Kind of keeps to himself.
Well, I think he was kind of kept to himself. I'd be in a party.
Yeah, because I never heard much about Norman other than when he was on TV. And a lot of those guys would show up. You'd hear about something somewhere, but his name just never came up. Let's see. Sylvia on X. Wrestlers have to have arguments from time to time, even to the point of fighting one another. What was the worst real fight you saw backstage?
Was Steve Dr. Dale Williams and Road Warrior Hulk. God rest both of those. And also, I seen a good one there was Eddie Guerrero, God rest his soul, and Kurt Angle. So those were pretty intense.
Now, Guerrero and Angle, that had to be wow. That had to be something to see. Was it a quick one, or because both those?
Well, the guys broke it up. It started in the ring, and so I don't know. I guess somebody buzzed them or something, and it died there. But as soon as they got out of the ring and they got backstage, then that's when it started all over again.
All right, let's see. We have Joey 77. Teddy, did you like being a referee?
It didn't bother me at all. The referees, if I hadn't never put on the stripes, I'd never be where I am today.
There were some great matches with you. I remember, I want to say it was Chi-Town. Maybe was it Chi-Town Heat where it was Steamboat and Flair?
Yeah, for the title.
Do you have matches like that you remember as a referee that stick out in your mind?
God, I had so many, man. It's been so long. I'd say a lot of good ones were I loved and enjoyed refereeing were the Horsemen. Because I'm in there with some guys that really know how to work, and I mean they put it on and they made you work, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to work. When you want to be moving, right along with the flow. So with the Horsemen, I had a great time refereeing their matches. The Road Warriors, just so many guys. Harley Race had the opportunity to referee one of his matches. So Just to be able to sit and say that I've been with the greatest of this business, is enough.
All right, our next question here. Jesse asked, was there a reason for your weight gain during your time in WCW with Craig Pittman and Ice Train?
Yeah, it was a reason for it. I was taking up pills. I was on Lorsets. I had to take 6 of them every day to even function. So once I just started doing the drugs and stuff, I just forgot about training, forgot about working out, because I always worked out even before I even got into wrestling. So yeah, that problem, you know what I mean? It was bad, but I was able to overcome it, and so I'm just glad. God bless me, I didn't OD or nothing. So I learned. Believe me, I learned my lesson. I had a chance to learn a lot of things.
Yes, and when I look back at it, it strikes me as you don't even look like yourself at all.
Well, look at me and Ice Train, man. I was like, I think I was 250 pounds when I was managing Ice Train. My head was bigger than my stomach. So it was, so yeah, man. I've been there, done that. I've dropped the balloon. God has blessed me to still stay alive. So that's why I stay in the gym and do the right thing and just trying to, keep on going.
All right, Bob Cook. Hey, Bob, good to see you in here. Saying hello, gentlemen.
Do you know whether this is Bob Cook out of Florida? Or do you know who you're talking to?
I have a feeling that is Bob Cook out of Florida. I'm not sure if he's still in Florida or not. Bob, let us know. Are you still in Florida? And this is the Bob Cook. I feel pretty confident that's who we're talking to. So what you're not.
So, well, if you feel confident, then that tells my point. You're paying these guys. You're getting a kickback for everybody. Yeah, something's going on with you.
Oh my God, Bob!
I can tell you right now, I'm not going to fall in his footsteps, Bob Cook. I'm not giving you no T-shirt.
Bob Cook has a podcast that he does as well. Bob, leave the name of the podcast in the chat here. I just happened to come across it the other night. It was you and 3 other guys that were talking yeah, he says it's me. So okay, that's all we needed. Just you saying it's me.
Yeah, well, hey, yeah, I know Bob got from back in the day, Florida Championship Wrestling. I had a chance to go down there and work for Ed Graham a little bit, just moving over. Yeah, I've been knowing Bob a long time, man. Congratulations to him. He's still alive and doing good stuff.
Yeah, he says he's back in Florida now, so that's good.
Yeah, okay.
I know for a period of time he was with Fred Ottman. He was hanging out with him. I think he may have been there to help. Fred's wife had fallen to some bad health at one time, and I think he may have gone there to help out.
Bob has always been a nice guy.
Yes.
He's a guy that would do stuff like that. Bob has always been a nice guy.
Let's see. Trey Fay, we got time for one more here. Trey Fay in California writes, quote, you once refed a match between Jeff Jarrett, Deborah, Val Venus, and Nicole Bass. Please give your thoughts on memories of each.
Jesus Christ, you really taking me back now, especially with Nicole Bass.
Yeah, that was gonna be the first one. That's the first one I really wanted to know about was Nicole Bass.
Yeah, well, like I said, I had the opportunity to referee with the greatest. Jeff Jarrett in there, Nicole Bass. What was the other girl?
Let's see, Deborah.
Deborah was in there. Yeah, so yeah, it was great, man. Like I told you, man, I've worked with the best.
Anything about Nicole Bass that you can recall working with her?
She was all right. She just she was like a baby,
Really?
when you talk to her, yeah, she was always, something was always wrong. She was always complaining about something, but she had this voice, she's different than when she cut her promos, but when you talk to her in person, man, she was like a little baby. Daddy, I don't know why they...
So she wasn't the big badass that you thought.
No, she was a sweetheart, man. God, she was great.
What about Val Venus? Did you have a good time working with him?
Yeah, love Val. Time working with him, man. That gimmick he had was great too.
Oh,
when
man.
he come out, hello, ladies. Yeah.
Do you think there's anybody else that could have pulled that gimmick off?
No.
Yeah, I agree. Val Venus, he was born for that gimmick, or he made that gimmick to the point where nobody could ever come behind him and try to do the same thing. It would never work.
That's what you're supposed to do. Then you don't have to worry. It's like the boogeyman. Who wants to do that? Nobody wants to put the worms in their mouth, but he ain't scared.
Yep. Let's see, Chris C. Dub Wright. What's up, Teddy? That dude with the energy drinks. Yeah, we know who. That's crazy, Chris. He's a,
Yeah.
hey, that's one funny son of a gun.
Well, you know why he's crazy. He drinks energy drinks with caffeine all day. That's his.
And let's see, Bob Cook also letting us know he was actually Fred and Sheila were helping him during a rough time in his life. Greatly appreciate them. That's cool to see. That's one thing I noticed. There's Bob is that you and Fred seem to have that kind of brother connection. Which was really cool to see, two of the vets being that way. Teddy, we're out of time. We got to pick two people tonight. Can you even think of the ones that you want to go to?
Yeah. I tell you what, we gotta do this. We gotta send Bob Cook a shirt.
All right, so Bob will get that extra shirt that we had left over from last week.
We don't need to know from last week. Why you gotta?
Yes, we do, because Otis Linkman could have taken it, but he said throw it back in the pile, and I want to give him credit for giving that T-shirt back up for somebody else. I thought that was cool.
I bet it was something you were saving it for, and then you didn't get your deal didn't work out, so now you let him have it.
All right, Miss Daisy, that's one. Bob Cook, who's the other one? Come on, Miss Daisy, who's the other one?
Well, that's the question. I
can't remember the question.
About the steamboat match or something. I think that's about the refereeing.
Did you like to ref? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, because of the refereeing, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Let's see. By the way, Plot Twist Jones coming in here. Please don't go away. Hey, we appreciate that. We have a good time in here, and we appreciate everybody that comes in here too.
Well, I'm glad you came. Glad you checked in, Plot Twist, because that's what I need. I need a plot with this guy I'm working with. I need to. Can you get back to me and get for me so I can just take care of Matt?
Joey 77 was the guy that you're talking about. He asked, did you like being a referee?
All right, 77. All right.
Let's
enjoy your shirt.
All right, we got two.
And hey, guys, if you would, when you receive your shirt, if you could share it on social media and let everybody know you got it right here from Mac and Tay on Road Trip After Hours, we certainly appreciate it.
Absolutely would. Let's see. Please don't go. Awesome show. Thank you, Bob. We appreciate that. And we'll be back here again next week. We do this every week on Thursday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we hope you'll join us again next week. I'm Mac Davis, and that is WWE Hall of Famer, Mr.
And if you don't join us, then it's one-on-one